Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're doing some more of the Junk Journal January, and today our prompts are hidden and antique. And I'm actually going to combine these on one single page. And I'm needing to do a little catch up, so I'm going to be able to squeeze both of these in on one. And I think it's going to work out just perfect for the next three, the way I want to lay them out. All right, so let me tuck that back in there, and we will get to work. Now, here's what I've done so far. So, what do we have? We have envelope, we have ticket, we have outline, which I assumed that everything was considered an outline here. We have depth, which I should have went through here. I just looked at it and did a little shading underneath of each one of the items, and that would add more depth. Even a little shadow coming off of her, like the light source may have been behind her. So I may end up doing that at some point in time. Here is our embossed page, and then our tuck spot page. And these little pieces that I tucked in here are actually on the back of the rub-ons page. These two little items were from the rub-ons on the back page, so you could see what you had in there, and they make perfect little journal cards to stick somewhere. They got so much character to them, so that's why I just stuck those in here so you could see what the tucking was all about. So this is where I'm going to do both of today's, the antique and the hidden. As you can see, I'm going to have to do something in particular with this one. And the next word is trim, because this was a waxed bag, and you can see through it. Oh, so I'm going to be working on that. Okay, so let me get this one pulled out, and that's going to be on the back, but it's not going to hinder us in any way. And we are going to get to work. And I want to thank everyone for coming to visit and seeing what I'm going to do today. And I kept thinking, antique, antique. What kind of an antique did I want to use? Now, I have this this stamp that I got from Lorna at Tailor Made Journals that has antiques on it, and I think I'm going to put that at the top. I'll probably stamp it onto something, and if I don't, I'll do like a gold embossing powder on there. Okay, let me get that out of the way. And I have this romance novel collection, and I can't remember where I got it, if it was Hobby Lobby or where. Maybe I got it online. But I'm going to be doing this typewriter, as you see right here. And it's got some words and things here. I've got a light bulb that I thought I would hang down. Like, an old romance novelist is sitting at their desk and they're typing on their keyboard like, Murder, She Wrote. That's one of my favorite shows. Anyhow, so I'm thinking this bulb is hanging over top of her where she's watching and looking at what she's typing. Well, this little guy so happens to, and I've robbed a lot of them, it's got things about typing inside. See, you've got the typewriter, calligraphy. You had a bunch of personal telegram kind of things in here. But I've got this page right here that we're going to use. It's one of the last ones I've got left. See, you've got all these little notes to oneself and all these little advertisements. But I'm just going to use this one as part of my background. And I've used up all the rest of them. And also what we're going to use for, let's see, how was I going to do this? I think I was going to use this as the majority of the background, and it's one of those 3D texture fade embossing folders. And it's got the typewriter keys on here in the upper and lower case. It's really cool. So we're going to be using that as part of our background. And another part of the background, I thought I might be able to slip in this last little piece. Now, I just collaged all of these scraps that I had over there in darker colors onto that. And I'm thinking about using my 1-inch stamp, not stamp, what do you call it? A punch, a 1-inch punch. And going through here, and I might go to the back side so I can get this just right. But I wanted to put you know, holes in 2 layers there. And I have these, and I'm thinking I can stamp on the back page back here, like a few of these letters. And I just thought it'd be kind of different, something cool. We're going to see if we got enough room for it first. So the first thing I need to get onto is this. Now, I'm not going to be doing the, actually running it through my, whatever, embossing. No, what is that called? Die cut machine. I'm a little on the dead side. We just went out and ate for my husband's birthday, which is tomorrow now. But we went out to eat at Golden Corral, so my belly's full and my head is empty. Okay, so this is a piece of watercolor paper. I got out of a watercolor pad I had because it was just about the right size. Because it's going to fit inside of here and it's going to go down like that. And then you go over there to the the die cut machine and you run it through. But the first thing you want to do is to spray with some water. And I'm going to do it over there on the carpet. But you want to spray really well, maybe the back and the front. Since this is watercolor paper, it's not going to hurt a bit. But you putting water on here loosens up those fibers. It makes it take these letters so much better. Okay. All right, I just ran it through. It has some strings on it. And I'm going to pull it up and try not to let it move and see if it did the job. Oh, yeah. Oh, I must have had a little bit of ink on here, but we're going to spray this. So, yeah, I think that's good enough. That's a good enough. And you could actually, well, no, we're going to actually use a little bit of that, that luster glazy kind of stuff I used the other day over the top of this after we spray it. So I just wanted to figure out what colors that I wanted to go with here. And mostly it's earth tones. So I got a feeling it's just going to be, and you know what? I got some from Amazon just the other day that I ordered. And I've tea dye, walnut stain, and antique linen. Now the antique linen is probably going to be too light. I may already have the walnut stain, so let me look. But the tea dye may be one we use. Alright, I still may go back and get a darker shade, but we're going to use the antique linen and the tea dye. And since they're oxide, they have the ball inside, and you want to shake it up. The Junk Journal January is brought to us by Meg Journals. I think she's been doing this for quite a few years now. At least 5, maybe, I believe. From what I've seen others showing their books, you know. So, she does it also in July. This is the first year I've tried it. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm taking and putting all kinds of just mixed media effects on here. I'm using up mixed media items that I have. Alright, there's my base coat, and that was the tea dye. I kind of like that color. Now this one is probably lighter. So I don't even know if we're going to need that one. Antique linen I know is much lighter. So we're going to try the walnut stain. Now I got these as a trio from Amazon. And I'm going to show you the other goodies that I bought at, here at the end. Oh, I don't want to put too much because I don't want to really cover up what I'm doing. Now, I'll probably leave that. Let me see what else I got. And I have a little vintage photo spray stain. So maybe we can... I'm still putting more dark on there than I wanted to. But it's giving me that antique-y look. Because it looks splotchy. So we might just go with that. Alright, I've dried it off with my heat dryer. And I'm looking at my iced espresso luster. And I'm going to put a little bit down here to test. To see how dark it is. And it does come up really dark. So let's try a little bit of this. Against right in here maybe. But you just want to kind of rub it on Is that going to be dark enough? I'm hoping it'll be dark enough. I'm going to have black on my page, and I've got this on the page. I think it'll be dark enough. I'll go with it. Because I thought if nothing else, I could come across here with some kind of a paper, or a stamp pad, an ink pad. I'll get the word right here in a minute. Let me actually experiment a little bit and try that. All right, we're going to play. That part might get covered up anyway, so it won't hurt it any. Now, I've got a walnut ink, distress ink, and I'm thinking about pulling that across like that. Oh, that's kind of nice. Nice, nice, nice. I'm still going to use some of my luster, so don't worry about that. I'm just kind of going to put a little bit of spray of water over this maybe and see what happens. Now, you're also able to pick up, like, there's little bumpies and stuff all in through there as well. Let me roll that all on there a little bit harder. Now, let's see what a little bit of water might do. I'm hoping it smears it. Did it smear it? Well, it did smear it. I'm also oxidizing just a tad. But oh yeah, it is. Look at that area. Yeah, and right in there. Let me see if I can hit it in a few more spots. I like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back over there and I'm going to dry it off just a little bit more. Alright, now we're going to go back in with the luster and see if I can't just kind of rub it across here and get a little bit more detail. I'm good with the part of the letters being covered, as you can see, but I don't want to cover it completely with the luster. I want it more for like down in here. I'm hoping you will be able to see this part. I just don't know. I haven't figured this out yet. I just kind of picked the elements out that I thought would go well together with each other. And I thought I would work, oh goodness, work it that way. That's not bad that way. Maybe I need to go down and up instead of across. Okay. There. I think I'm happy with that. Let me pull it across the top. See if I can get that to stick out a little bit. When you use other colors, you'll get a whole lot different effect. So don't think that this is the end all and be all of this. I've made several of these before in different colors, and each one had its own unique qualities. Okay, I've cut it down. I was trying to see how much room I was going to have for this, but I believe this is going to go in here like this. And I'm going to cut it out. You don't need to waste all of that. It's only going to be shown around the outside edge, and it's a good thing it's got little tiny letters around there. I might actually ump it down to where you can see the ABCs though. And then we're going to extend some of it down in here. I have to figure out how far across it's going to go as well. So I know I wanted to have it right there because I want the ABC to show. And I want it to be right over here. And I'll cut that off first and see what I got. Okay, I think I'm going to actually pull this down and maybe cut off this last two sets of letters, or last set of letters. I've also seen people actually take each one of these little letters and cut them out and put them as little pieces of ephemera on their items. So what I want to do is make it free up for my little ABCs to go in here. Now we'll stamp this off on another piece of paper here in just a minute. But yeah, let me go across here and just go ahead and cut this off. And we'll use these pieces for something else just a little bit later. We'll put them on the front of a pocket. I mean, it could be anything. Now, we're definitely going to be inking around the outside edges of these things, because this is my scorched timber. And you can see that you really need it. Now, down here at the bottom, I don't know if I am, but I will anyway. I'm trying to remember where this little piece of scrap that I did a collage on is going to be. Whether it's going to be above, below, or right in hand with this. Now, I did say I was going to cut off this inside part. I was just trying to figure out where exactly I wanted to cut it off at. And then, okay. Go back up here for a second. And I think I came down to the ABC. So we're just going to kind of go up in here like this. And go across here. And then up here. You can always find places to use any of these little pieces of ephemera, or scrappies like that. They'll come in handy in any place because they're nice and neutral. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue that down and get that out of the way. Yeah, we went to eat at Golden Corral. He gets a free buffet. If you sign up for your birthday there, you get a free buffet for you. I mean, we got lucky one time and some girl gave it to the both of us. Because we always go together, you know. But, yeah, my favorite is the teriyaki chicken. Oh, I need to talk a little bit more about my art stuff. My art history, I guess you could call it. All right. So I was talking about being a fan of some of these really great artists like Boris Vallejo, who do these, you know, very realistic, like warrior women. A lot of times they are on these charging horses or something along those lines. I just loved them, you know, because of course they had a horse, but there was other things that they had as well. I may be adding a little bit to the, yeah, I'll extend this a little bit more. But yeah, I used to try and draw some of the people like they did. So I have this 4 or 5 girls. I can't remember how many I did. Was it 3 or 4? And I did them along those lines. One is like a belly dancer. One is I guess she's like a Norse god kind of a lady. She's kind of maybe a Viking. Maybe that's what she is. And then I have quite a few others. Let's see. What else did I do? Oh, Cleopatra. You know how I love Egyptian. Anything Egyptian. So, of course, I had to draw my Cleopatra. She's kind of cool. She looks like she's... What is that word? Double jointed. That's it. Have you ever known anybody that was double jointed? Okay, my dad had a little sister that died at 11, Lily, and they say that she was double jointed because she could like bend her fingers backward and her I don't know, her elbows back. I don't know, there's certain things that she was able to do that some of the older cousins were able to remember. And okay, so I'm going to put this in here about right there. And then we'll figure out what else we need to do. So anyhow, where was I even at? Like all over the place. So, yes, I have several of those that I had drawn. And then I had another spell of drawing people with one eye. And heaven forbid, I have no clue. I keep thinking I saw it on a bottle of like, you know that sea breeze stuff? It's like an antiseptic for your face. I keep thinking that I had seen it on a bottle of that. And the eye is implied, but it's not there. I'll have to see if I've actually copied one of those photos into my computer. I don't know that I did, but man, I did a whole slew of those kind of people. A whole slew of them. It's just amazing. Yeah, you get on to one thing, and like I was doing all those profile people, and I was doing the front facing people. I'm trying to give you like a history of me going forward in time of what I was messing with. Now, of course, the art teachers, they always had you working on something in particular. Well, I may need a couple more of these. I better wait, because actually, I think I'm going to need a strip right in the middle here, and I've already got one cut out. So let's do that. Yeah, so I was doing all kinds of assignments there. Now, our art, I had it all 5 years of school. We didn't have middle school when I went. We only had elementary and high school. So we would have all of our 7th grade all the way up through elementary school. Then we would go over to the high school. And so I went from 8th to 12th into high school. And we would have, you know, I'd have my art class. And one of the typing, one of the classes that I think went and did the most for me through life was typing. And they say that handwriting is like totally out. I mean, it's totally gone. Nobody ever does handwriting anymore. You know, I'm sitting here thinking I need to probably put a little bit down here around the outside edge of this as well. If I get it right side up. Huh, what do you think? We might be ending up using all of this, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and cut that off there. Cut that in the middle, and we'll put that on either side. I'll need to trim that, though. But I used to have a typewriter, and I have no clue where it's at unless I've got it shoved in a black closet or somewhere around here. My brother says it's not up there anymore in the house because he used to have it in a closet at the home place. So I got to enjoy all those years of drawing, crafting. We did all kinds of stuff. We had a half of our year with the Mrs. Armstrong, and she was the art teacher, drawing and all that. Then we had the other teacher, Mrs. Oh gosh, Ayler, and she was the one that did the crafting. And I remember we had a whole half of a cowhide in there one time because we were doing leather work. I mean, we used to do all kinds of stuff in her class. And then, of course, we'd have the whole other version of everything in Mrs. Armstrong's class. Because over there, we would do the drawing, the painting. Because I think that's where I painted a horse for my dad. And I used to get Horse of Course magazine. You know, I had to be around horses in some way. So I had these Horse of Course magazines. And I would use some of the pictures out of there to actually draw and study to get a good visual on what my horse should look like. Oh crap. So I meant to put some holes here so I could see letters. So I guess I'm only going to be able to put them in the center part here because I've put a liner on either of the other sides. Okay. So let me see if I can get a good bead on where to put my my holes. So we're going to try to do it like right across there and right across here. We're just going to make a grid. Let's see, maybe like right here. Yeah, so we got to do leather work one time, and I remember doing purses and belts and, oh, that's crooked. Yeah, purses and belts. And I know we did macrame, and we did basket weaving. You wouldn't believe the stuff we would do. And, you know, it was pretty useful. It was things you would learn and be able to do outside of, you know, school. I'm trying to get this on the money here, and it's not quite doing it. All right, maybe one right here. Ugh, well, let's see. Let's see how close I get. I should have notched it. Okay. That is big. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make that many. So why don't we come over here and we'll go in between these two. Yeah, and I don't know that I'm going to get through that either. Oof, that was thick. Let's see if it's going to be worth my while. And I don't know, but I may have some... Ooh, I got a little bit of glitter on that one. So, let's see if we can do 3 across. I do remember one time we had... I don't know what we were doing. I think we were in watercolor or something like that. And, you know, we were always watching the clock to see when it was getting ready to turn. And we had, what was it, 5 minutes or something left to class. So she said, you still have time to do something. So I sat down and I used a brush and I made this little tree. And I put some leaves on it by squishing down the end of the brush. And I put a little ground on it and a few leaves themselves. Oh, well, I already said the leaves, didn't I? I forget what else I did to it. And I handed it in. I got it done in 5 minutes. I got it back. It was an A. There was a few of us that sat at the same table. We were all friends. And it was me and Gay Sheets and then Greg Folk. And he was colorblind. Now, he couldn't tell the reds and the greens. I don't know if anybody else here is like that, but he would always get mad, you know, if me or Gabe would get an A or something like that. So, we were always being mean to him. And he asked us one time, he was painting a picture with trees, and he wanted to know which one was the green, and we told him the red was the green, but he made a beautiful fall scene, and oh, he got mad at us. He got so mad at us. Oh, but he got a good grade. See, we said, see, you got a good grade because we got you outside of your box. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to glue it down yet. I'm actually going to get in here and do me a circle. And I think I probably won't be able to see this once I glue this back down. But this is going to give me an idea where to put my letters. So we're going to take, and I'm going to get my black, my VersaFine Onyx Black. And I'm going to go for the capitals. And let's see. I'm just going to do A, B, C, whatever. I use these letters a lot. I think I got them at Walmart. No, I think I got them at Michael's. I think that's where I got them. Okay, do the A right there. And let me find something to tap that off on. Right there. Okay, A. Oh, that's inside there, dummy. And then B. But yeah, we had fun in there, and then we, of course, go to the next class over, which was at the other half of the year. I think that was after Christmas. We would go to do the craft part. I remember in class one time, Mrs. Armstrong, she was always wanting me to go off to college somewhere and take art. But I did not. The only class or school that I seen that I wanted to go to was a Art Institute of Atlanta. That was the only one I seemed to be interested in back then. I don't know why. But it was in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a little small town girl. We don't even have one stoplight in the town I'm actually, postal coded for. But we do have several in Stanton. But still, I couldn't see myself going away and living at a place like that. I just didn't want to do it. She did have this one guy that had taken her class, and he had came in. I guess he was there to talk to us about what we would do if we wanted to take art for a living, go to school for it and major in it and that kind of thing. So he was very, very talented. I couldn't see myself getting that far. I've always been a jack of all trades. I always kind of learned something to the point where I was good at it, and then I wanted to move on to another project, another thing. I'm even like that now in journals. I work on that journal as much as I can, but then I start to get tired of it. All right, so we're going to glue this down. I can't remember which way I was going with it now. Was it this way? Yeah, it might have been that way. Okay. But yeah, I just kind of, I didn't feel the need. I don't know. I've always done books. Now, that might have a lot to do with me doing journals now. But I always had a interest in creating books of some sort. Like I got a family recipe book, and I was doing all kinds of books for my mom and dad after I started getting into the family tree and learning about it. And I would take photos. I was going around and collecting all photos and stuff, and then I was putting them back into, a journal or a big scrapbook, or however, I wanted to relay all of that information. And I did my dad a 70th birthday big album, and I don't know, I got on to doing that, and then I'm on to something else. I'm telling you, I haven't been doing my genealogy like I had been for, a long time. And I was going to put antiques up here. I still can. I just got to put it on something. And I've got the gold down here already. So, let me get the typewriter out. And if I didn't mention it, this is Curiosity Shop, CMS 482. And I really love all the different things in it. We're going to use the light bulb too. I think I had mentioned using the light bulb. I'm taking this scrap piece of paper. Doesn't have to be anything nice. And I'm going to use it. Why not? And I'm going to just stamp my typewriter up here in the corner. And then we'll stamp my light bulb on here somewhere as well. See how this turns out. I wouldn't mind having it on something a little thicker. So we might just like double over our paper. Because I have something that I'm wanting to do to it to combine the two different prompts. All right, there we go. That looks good. And now I'm going to pull out the light bulb. And we're going to do that one as well. I don't think I have that one already done anywhere. So we're just going to stick that one right here. There. Let me stamp off down here. And then let me stamp this one off because I didn't do that one either, did I? I love this typewriter. Now there's a thing in Tim Holtz where you've got like a stamp that's the keys. And it's like facing down, and I really love it, but I just haven't stood and said, oh, I really, really have to have that. That's what I do a lot. I will look and see if I really have to have that item in my stash. And a lot of times, it's a big no. Okay, so we have this, and I'm going to do a little wash treatment on here to make it yellow. And then we're going to go across here. I'm going to actually do that on my cutter. Okay, I have this Dilution Shimmer Spray. It's Pure Sunshine. And I'm hoping I can dip my brush down in here. Or maybe I can just do something like that. I'm just trying to get some of the color over here. It's a mica kind of a based item. But I'm trying to get it to where it's looks like a light bulb's lit up. Okay. I think that did it. I'll let that dry and I'll rinse my paintbrush out. Okay, before I get to anywhere else, I need to actually pick out one of these phrases to put on my thing here. Thoughts and theories. Okay, that's kind of goes with the concept, because my thoughts is that a typewriter like this is an antique. It could be a theory, it could be a thought. Now I want to go ahead and put it on here about right here, let's say. And then I need to stamp a little bit of that off, like right there. I won't be using this end of it, so we'll be all right. And so I've got that, thoughts and theories. Is there anything else there that might... just a note, thoughts and theories. Maybe just a note would be good. We'll try that one too. I'll put it right here, just a note. So I've got a little bit of the old-fashioned typewriter keys. You can't really see my outside edge there that much. So I thought that might do the trick. All right. Yeah. And then there's a little piece of paper here. I don't know whether that's worth trying to put on here or not. Let's try it. Can't hurt. Yeah. Right there. That'll work. It won't... I can't stamp it off on that one, though. Let's stamp it off on this one. You know what? I got another idea. Alright, now we're going to sneak in here and do our heat embossing. And I'll show you what I did to that other piece in a minute when I left you hanging a minute ago. I didn't put any stamp block behind this, but I don't think I need it. I'm going to just stick it down and see what we get. About like that. And I think that's good enough. Me just rubbing it the way I am. Let's see what we come up with. I can actually see it on there, so it's looking like it caught. Oh yeah. I picked black because that's what we got a lot of. And I'm flicking off my excess. And I think I did. Got a little piece there I don't want. Other than that, it did really good. We're going to put this back in here. And then we're going to heat emboss it and get it ready. And it'll be a whole lot more visible after you heat emboss it. Okay, that's what we got. See how much different it looks? Yeah. So this is what I come up with. I had a little piece of paper that was a little bit of a tea dye stain. I didn't want it to be white like this. I wanted it to be this tea dye color. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up cutting down this, and then the other piece. I'm trying to think where I need to be on this one. Maybe right there. Yeah. I don't know it needs to be that long. I need to cut a little bit off the bottom. At least that much. And we'll see if we need to cut any more after I get down to the other piece. Now, I took this little light bulb. I cut it out and I washi taped a piece of scrap string to the back of it. So that's ready to go. I look like I'm a little crooked on my stamping. Big surprise. Big surprise. So we get it a little straighter. And then we'll cut it off on this end. I could rip it, but too lazy. And I got a little bit of a black piece there for something for later on. Let's go ahead and cut this here. And this here. There. And I think everything is cut that I needed to be cut. Get this out of the way. And let's see what we need to do. I did bring out this black marker. I'm going to take the thicker piece, I believe. And I'm going to go around the left corner, or the left part of that, to give myself sort of like a shadow effect. There we go. I do have a pointy end, but I don't know if it's got a little bit of juice in it that I could pull up the rest of that, where it's not just a blunt end left over. And we'll do the same thing here to finish that off. That's just so you got like a shadow effect, I guess, on your key. There we go. That's good. And then I want to cut the edges off of here real quick, just rounding them softly. And we're going to finish off our typewriter and see what we need to do here. I know I need to at least glue these two pieces together. I wanted them to be a little thicker, so it's a little stronger for what I have in mind for it. Okay. Lay it down, and we're going to squeeze out the glue to get it to work for us. There we go. I'm going to take my little shears and I'm going to rough cut the edges. I know I've got this at sort of a white tone. We might be able to use one of our brushes over it and just brush some color on it. And I'm going to go straight across this top portion right here. It's still a little wet because of the glue. go. I don't know if I want to go all the way up in there or not. Okay. Let's see. Let me put some ink on it and see if that makes a difference. Get a little piece of paper out here to scrub on. I got stuff everywhere, don't I? I think it's this piece. I got one of these. It's just for the distress ink. We'll see if this is... Well, I don't want to put it on the white part. I want to put it on this kind of edge or over across the typewriter itself. Just to tone her down a little bit. Yeah, about like that. And that paper at the top can stay white. Okay. Now, we are going to see what we need to do here to get this together. So, this part was to go down into the typewriter. And that's going to be the hidden. It's going to be hidden. But I do have to leave it so long just so I can pull it up. Okay, well, first, we're just going to go ahead and glue the typewriter down. And I got to do it very delicately here. It's going to be the bottom, this edge over here, and then this edge, because I need the room to slide it down in there, you know. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Okay. So we're going to put that right here and set it on that edge. Got a little bit of glue that came out there. I'm just hoping the letters behind here aren't going to hinder me too much. So let's actually slide this in here and see what we got. And actually, when you do that, and then you hold it down, you give yourself that extra room for that item to squeeze into, because it gives it the room to with the give to it. All right. Well, I think what it is that we could use the word hidden as the note itself. The note itself is hidden. We're going to go ahead and cut our little edges here real quick. And go ahead and ink around the outside edges. Why not? There. And like I said, that can go down in here. And the note is hidden. All right, and then we want to get our light, which I guess our light's going to have to go over here. And then it's going to be hanging there for them to use. Now I've got a little extra piece of washi because this is going to go up here at the top. I need to have that hang down a little further just so I can have some string. And then, yeah. Is it about right there? I think it is. Okay. So I'm going to pinch that real quick and roll it over to the back side. And I'm going to smear some glue on there. And then we're going to put this on there. What sticks can stick, and what doesn't want to stick, it doesn't have to. Alright, so that part can get trimmed off. I don't need that part. And then we're going to put this down. And then I'll glue the light bulb after I get this part down. Okay. And that can hang right there. Actually, I'm going to bump it over just a bit so it's kind of even Steven with the two sides. Yeah. And although I've kind of covered up the uppercase A's, the lowercase letters are still sort of visible, which is fine. They were just there as a background anyway. That's about what all this was. Mostly background. Alright, I think that part's dry, so now we're going to do our light bulb. And give him some glue. And I'm going to pull it down and stretch it so it looks like it's hanging correctly. Okay. There we go. Now, we are done. We are done. So let me cap my glue and we'll go over it again. So our two items that we just completed are the antique, can you see me doing it, and the hidden. All right, so those are checked off. I'm getting caught up. So I did want to add these two together in some way. I had thought about doing a duo page again, and I thought no. So I really like how this turned out. I love all the golds that's on there and all the dark elements, because you know me, I like grunge. I like the kitschy look to it because of all the type letter keys and such. Since you can't see these, I thought it would be great to do it that other way. It'd be neat if I had made that a pocket. And I had thought about it, and then I thought, no, I don't want to put that extra work into it. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this, all my subscribers and viewers. And if you didn't know, this is an antique, definitely. And I've got the sign up there to prove it. And then you've got the hidden note. So I've seen other people do things that are hidden under other pieces of paper. I had thought to do that. And then I thought, no, I'm going to do a hidden note. There we go. I might even write something else on there. Who knows? All right, everybody, take care. I will see you again soon, maybe tomorrow, because I seem to be doing one every day for a while until I do get caught up. All right, y'all take care and see you again. Bye-bye.